There are some people who carry pain openly, and then there are people who carry it silently. The kind of people who smile while suffering, who protect others while destroying themselves internally, who make impossible choices and live with the consequences alone. And few characters represent this psychological burden more deeply than Itachi Uchiha from Naruto. Because Itachi's story is not just about sacrifice, it's about the crushing weight of moral conflict, the pain of choosing between two impossible outcomes, and the psychological cost of carrying responsibility that no human being should ever have to bear alone. From the very beginning, Itachi was different. Even as a child, he possessed unusual intelligence, emotional awareness, and maturity. While others his age were focused on becoming stronger, Itachi was already questioning violence, war, and human nature itself. After witnessing the horrors of war at a young age, something changed inside him. He developed an understanding that most people never reach, the realization that conflict always creates suffering, no matter who wins. Psychologically, early exposure to trauma often forces children to mature too quickly. They lose innocence earlier than they should. They become hyper-aware of danger, emotion, and consequences. And this creates a heavy internal burden. While others live freely, people like Itachi begin carrying the emotional weight of the world around them. That's why Itachi becomes obsessed with peace. Not because he is weak, but because he understands the true cost of hatred. And this is where his internal conflict begins. The Uchiha clan plans a coup against the Hidden Leaf village. The village leadership fears civil war. Both sides are driven by fear, mistrust, and pride, and Itachi is trapped directly in the middle. Think about the psychological pressure of that situation. He loves his family, he loves his village, but the system forces him into a position where protecting one means betraying the other. This is the essence of moral conflict, a situation where every choice creates pain. And psychologically, these are the most damaging decisions a person can face because there is no clean outcome. No matter what choice is made, guilt remains, regret remains, emotional scars remain. Itachi chooses the village, but that decision destroys him internally. The massacre of the Uchiha clan is one of the darkest moments in anime. But what makes it psychologically devastating is not just the act itself, it's the emotional isolation that follows. Itachi cannot explain himself. He cannot seek comfort. He cannot share the truth. Instead, he allows the entire world, including his own brother Sasuke Uchiha, to see him as a monster. Now imagine living under that burden. Imagine sacrificing your reputation, your relationships, your emotional peace, and even your identity, all for a decision nobody will ever understand. This is where Itachi becomes psychologically fascinating, because his suffering is silent. Most people want recognition for sacrifice. They want acknowledgement, validation. But Itachi accepts being hated, and that level of emotional self-denial comes with a serious psychological cost. When people constantly suppress their emotions, suppress their truth, and carry pain alone, they slowly begin disconnecting from themselves. This is why Itachi feels emotionally distant throughout much of the series. Calm, detached, controlled. Not because he lacks emotion, but because he has trained himself to suppress it. Emotional suppression becomes survival. And many people do this in real life. They become the strong one, the reliable one, the emotionally composed one. They carry everyone else's burdens while ignoring their own pain. Over time, they stop expressing vulnerability because they believe their suffering must remain hidden. But hidden pain does not disappear. It accumulates, and eventually it affects the mind, the body, and the soul. You can see this in Itachi's declining health. His illness symbolizes something deeper psychologically, the cost of carrying unbearable emotional weight for too long. His body weakens, while his responsibilities continue growing heavier. And despite all of this, Itachi never fully loses his compassion. That's what makes him extraordinary. Even after becoming isolated, misunderstood, and emotionally exhausted, he still prioritizes protecting others, especially Sasuke. Now, this relationship is one of the deepest psychological aspects of Itachi's story. Everything he does is connected to his younger brother. Even his cruelty towards Sasuke is rooted in protection. He wants Sasuke to grow stronger, to survive, to eventually kill him and restore honor to the Uchiha name. But here's the tragedy. Itachi's love becomes distorted through secrecy and sacrifice. Because when people believe they must protect others at all costs, they sometimes start deciding what others should know, feel, or experience. They take everything onto themselves. And while that may come from love, it also removes honesty and emotional connection. This is a major lesson in personal development. Self-sacrifice without communication can become emotional isolation. Itachi believes carrying everything alone is strength. But true emotional strength also requires trust, openness, and vulnerability. And this is something he himself eventually realizes. When Itachi is reincarnated during the Fourth Great Ninja War, he finally confronts the flaws in his own mindset. He admits that trying to handle everything alone was a mistake. He recognizes that he underestimated the importance of trusting others, especially Sasuke. That moment is powerful because it reveals a truth many people learn too late. You are not meant to carry every burden alone. No matter how strong you are, no matter how intelligent you are, isolation does not make suffering noble. And this is one of the biggest misconceptions people have about sacrifice. They believe being selfless means destroying themselves for others. But healthy sacrifice has limits. Without balance, sacrifice turns into self-erasure. Itachi spent so much time protecting peace externally that he neglected peace within himself. And that's the hidden danger of becoming overly responsible. You start believing your worth comes from how much pain you can endure for others. But eventually, that mindset breaks people emotionally. Still, despite all the tragedy, Itachi leaves behind one of the most meaningful psychological lessons in anime. Intentions matter, but methods matter too. You can love deeply and still make damaging choices. You can try to protect people and still hurt them. You can sacrifice everything and still carry regret. That complexity is what makes Itachi human. He is neither purely hero nor villain. He is a person crushed under impossible circumstances, trying to make the best decisions he can while slowly losing himself in the process. And that's why so many people resonate with him. Because many people know what it feels like to carry silent burdens, to feel responsible for everyone else's well-being, to hide pain behind composure, to sacrifice personal happiness for duty, family, or expectations. But Itachi's story warns you about the psychological cost of that path. Yes, responsibility matters. Yes, sacrifice matters. But you cannot save others while completely abandoning yourself. At some point, even the strongest person needs connection, honesty, and emotional release. And perhaps the most beautiful part of Itachi's journey comes at the end, when he finally speaks honestly to Sasuke. No manipulation, no masks, just truth. For the first time, he allows himself to be emotionally vulnerable. And in that moment, after an entire life of silent suffering, he finally finds peace. That's the deeper meaning behind Itachi Uchiha. Not perfection, not martyrdom, but the painful journey of a person learning that carrying the world alone is not strength. True strength is protecting others, without completely losing yourself in the process.